Welcome, warm welcome, Martin.
Thank you very much.
Martin Ilingworth, tell us a little bit about your journey in education. Varied?
Well, maybe only recently varied. I think I'm a secondary English teacher, trained in Hull. I've worked in a number of schools, and I think I'm the sort of person who might have stayed in a very pleasant middle-class school in Derby and just seen out my days. I was becoming increasingly frustrated with how education was, and I kept thinking somebody's going to have to say something about this, and then I thought after a while it might actually have to be me.
Well, you looked around and there was...
I was looking for somebody to say the things I wanted to say, and I thought in that case it might have to be me. So 5 years ago now I applied for a grant from the Goldsmith Institute in London to go and have a look at teacher training in Canada, because I'd heard in Canada there were no exam boards and the teachers wrote the exams, and I thought that was a really exciting idea, and that teachers were trusted to be the professionals in the room and do the best for the children that they have there. And on the back of that, people got interested in the fact that I'd taken interest, I think, in that, and I worked at Nottingham University for a year, and then now I've just finished 3 years at Sheffield Hallam University, and I'm also an associate speaker with Independent Thinking.
And an author?
And an author of one book by myself, 2 books I've co-authored around A-level English language, getting teachers to think about how they want to approach that, and also a separate one on a bit of an antidote to the spelling, punctuation and grammar test, so look creative ways of teaching grammar. And I've written my own book called Think Before You Teach. Yeah, that's right. Think
that way around.
That way around. Think before you teach. It doesn't mean have a think and don't do it. It means in these fairly straitened times where a lot of teachers are being told what to do, I'm encouraging them to think, ask themselves questions about the practice that they have in their own classroom.
So was that the howl of frustration in Derby then, all those 5 years ago, was that teachers weren't being trusted?
I think that they weren't being trusted, and they weren't being given the opportunity to devise curriculum in healthy ways, and that the emphasis was becoming more and more on children preparing for tests. And as I've just said in my talk, if you tell children that the work is important because it's for a test, I believe you're actually telling them it's unimportant, because as you know, every test you ever take, you cram your head full, revise, do the test, and as soon as it's finished you forget everything. And I think that there's a sort of a limited approach that I've tried to get people to think past.
So now, Martin, at Sheffield Hallam, you're involved in teacher training, or you're involved in other things?
I'm involved in the English and Drama secondary courses, both the School Direct model and the Teach First. I do some teaching on that as well. Very big courses, so Sheffield Hallam's pushing out about 450 students, new teachers in different subjects each year, so a big concern.
So what keeps you going? I mean, in the sense of working within the system, what would you want to celebrate? What do you think's great about education in Britain?
In terms of my own interests, moving out of schools to supporting new teachers, and the fact that there is still a very healthy supply of teachers despite what people say, and that the motives and the commitment of young people to teaching is really, really healthy. And I feel I'm making a bigger contribution if each year I'm helping 60, 70 people go out into schools as new teachers. And I hope that I help them to see themselves as agents of change. And I ask them, you know, is everything perfect in your school? And when inevitably the answer is no, then I say, well, you need to do something about that. And actually working with fresh perspectives on the teaching process, particularly now in the digital age, where the way that children want to learn is moving away from the way that teachers want to teach. It's really important, and I really like working with new young teachers.
So final question, if you had one wish for the system, for our education nation, what would that be?
I would get rid of all terminal assessment apart from when you leave high school, and it would all be formative assessment on an informal basis, which listening around the place today might not be everybody's view.
But you keep going.
I do keep going, yeah. We need to offer children an education of hope, and that's the sort of thing that I'm hoping to work towards.
I wish you luck with your work.
Thanks
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.